Kababayan LA. This is your Wednesday edition, and of course, every other Wednesdays we have the American Dream for you.
This American Dream segment is brought to you by Aquino & Lowe Law Firm, answering your immigration questions.
You saw her earlier, Attorney Allison Aquino. Hello and welcome to Kababayan LA.
Good afternoon, Janelle.
So good news and bad news on the immigration front. Let's start with bad news first.
The bad news, or at least the not so good news, is that starting December 1, there is going to be a retrogression in 3 of the family-based preference categories.
And I know we talked about this before, but can you explain that to us once again? Why, how come retrogressions happen?
The Immigration Service is allowed to give out only a limited number of visas every single year. And between the beginning of 2009 and September of 2010, there were just less people applying for immigrant visas. And so that's why the numbers, or the priority dates, started moving forward rather quickly. Now, starting this fiscal year of October 1, immigration has realized, wow, there's a lot of people applying for visas. We need to slow down the number of people eligible, and so they do that by making the cutoff priority date go backwards so that people cannot submit their applications, or green card applications can't be finalized.
And this is the latest visa bulletin. Can you tell me which categories have retrogressed?
You can see the 2B. Up in the family-based categories, there's a 2B category, the 3rd preference, and the 4th preference. So the 2B are individuals who are being petitioned by permanent resident parents, and then the 3rd and 4th preference are for U.S. citizens. And those are retrogressing approximately 2 to 3 years.
So what happens? Like if, say, for example, your priority date became current, and then you apply, and then it has suddenly retrogressed without your approval for a green card?
Well, the good and the bad, again. Okay. If you have already submitted your application, the good news is that you can continue to at least extend your work permits up until the time immigration makes a final decision on your green card.
And that could be 2 to 3 years from now.
That's the bad news.
But yes. it's also still good, because then you can stay here and continue what you're doing here, living here, right?
Correct. Okay, and you're at least authorized to remain legally here in the United States.
What if you're in the Philippines?
In the Philippines, that's difficult, because the requirement is that you literally have to enter the United States no later than November 30th. Or at least have your visa issued before November 30th. Otherwise, you are subject to the retrogression, and you will be remaining in the Philippines, because the embassy cannot issue visas until the priority date becomes current again.
Wow. And so that's the same goes for people that are here. Well, you're here, you can stay here legally, but you have to wait till you apply.
Yes, and for those who have not submitted their applications, it's very important that if your priority date will retrogress on December 1, you must have your application filed no later than this coming Tuesday, November 30.
Wow.
Otherwise, you will not be able to file your application until your priority date becomes current again.
And thank you so much. So there's a sense of urgency in here. Aquino & Lowe Law Firm, are you going to be working overtime to accommodate these applications?
Well, we are enjoying Thanksgiving. but we do work quickly and can get applications in rather quickly.
And that's the number on the screen if you want to get free consultation. They do free face-to-face consultation, Aquino & Lowe Law Firm. Now, another good news, well, it's not a bad news, at least, the DREAM Act. Well, it seems to be making headway.
At least there's hope. And again, this is something that individuals need to pay special focus on right now. Right now, before the new Congress members take their seat in January, there's a big push by the Democrats to essentially try to get the DREAM Act passed. And as your viewers probably know, the DREAM Act is extremely important, especially for young individuals here in the United States.
There are some provisions here who will qualify for the DREAM Act?
There are a lot of people who will qualify for the DREAM Act, and so it's very important that individuals contact their Congress members, because they need to essentially vote on this before the end of December. If the DREAM Act has not been passed before the end of December, chances are it will be difficult to have it passed in the next few years.
And that is going to be difficult. Of course, the DREAM Act, just to explain to our viewers, they're essentially saying it in layman's terms, the sins of the parents aren't the sins of the children. So parents come here, stay here illegally, withholding information from their kids, and then the kids grow up going to school. When they graduate, they find out they can't go to work.
It's very difficult for them. It's difficult for them to find jobs because they're undocumented, difficult for them to go to school, no driver's licenses, social security cards. The individuals who are in the worst situation are the young, who were brought here as, as innocent victims. And so the DREAM Act helps those individuals who were brought to the United States at a young age and who need assistance in legalizing.
And I know Republicans are opposing this because in a way, is this sort of give amnesty to...
Well, that's what the Republicans are claiming, that this is an amnesty, but this by no means is an amnesty. Individuals have been brought here as innocent victims. They have worked hard. All they want is a chance for the American dream.
Exactly, and that is why we have the American Dream segments here on Kababayan LA to explain things to you. Thank you so much. And once again, if you want to get more information, you can log on to their website or call their number on the screen for a free face-to-face consultation. More power to you, Attorney Alison Aquino.
Thank you, Janelle.
And happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you.
All right. Magbabalik ko po ang Kababayan LA. Don't go away.